Hey everybody, what's going on? Scott Hilse here with you today, coming at you live with a very interesting video. Today I'm going to be comparing stock and options trading and drop shipping. Now, a lot of you know that in the past 5-6 weeks since I've been in quarantine here back in St. Louis, I've basically dedicated all of my time into studying stocks, into studying options, and even doing a little bit of trading on the both. After about 5 or 6 weeks, I wanted to make this video because I've been getting this question a lot. You know, hey Scott, what should I do right now? Should I do drop shipping? Should I do stocks? I'm not the one to really say exactly what you should do since I don't know everyone's personal situation. So the best thing I can offer is a direct comparison between the two. Now, before I start this video, be sure to smash that like button. Oh my God, I love when you guys hit that like button. It only takes half a second. And if you are watching this, that's the only thing I really ask for in repayment. And also, two quick things. One, what do you guys think about me filming these videos in here? Do you want to see more videos filmed in this little studio I have? Or would you rather have me like walking around outside in parks and finding unique spots to film videos? Or do you like them both? I want you to answer that in the comments below. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot about this actually. So those of you who are following on Instagram probably already know about this, but for those of you who don't, I got a very exciting video coming in about 3 weeks where I've been trading $10,000 with Forex algorithmic trading only. It's one of those things where you implement the algorithm into your Forex trading account and it trades based on 500,000 plus lines of codes. And oh my God, is it performing well. So I got it pulled up right here. Just a quick update. I'm only a week and a half in, but what's super interesting so far is at the full week mark last Wednesday, I was up 3% on my total account. So that means I made $300 in the first week of the trading. But guys, just today, I am up $550. Just today, I'm up 5%. And that's on top of the 3% I was already up. So I'm already up like 7-8% in the first week and a half on this algorithmic Forex trading. So that's going to be really exciting. I got tons of more details coming about that soon. I just want to let you guys know so you can prepare for that video. All right, so now it is time for the comparisons and my perspective from stock and options tradings to drop shipping. Now, both are great. Both have made a lot of people a lot of money, and both have lost a lot of people a lot of money. However, I will say that I think stocks has lost people way more money than e-commerce has. So I'll start it off with that. That's one of the cons of stocks. It's like you got to really realize, especially if you put in a good amount of money, your money's in jeopardy. It could go down, it could go up. And the one thing that I don't really like about that is you don't really have direct control of anything. It's like the CEO says something wrong of a company you invested in one day, and then half of your money's just gone that day and you didn't even notice. You know, that can easily happen. And same with options. Only options is even more risky because you're putting up the money. Yeah, you can make a lot of money, but with options trading, if you don't hit that mark and you don't pull out soon enough, you literally just lose all of your money. At least with like stock trading, you still get to keep that retaining value and sell it off. So you'll never hit like a 100% loss unless the company you invested in just went completely bankrupt. So right off the bat, compared to e-commerce dropshipping, there's no comparison in there. The most you're going to lose with e-commerce dropshipping is your Facebook ads not performing right. And you really shouldn't be putting too much money into Facebook ads at the start anyway. So in general, the usual loss that people hit when they start dropshipping or e-commerce and they lose is usually just a couple $100s. While with stocks, I've seen some people go into the stock market with $100,000 and come out a month and a half later with $5,000. Like literally right now, especially. Again, it's all about your risk factor, honestly, and how smart you are with both of them. Like e-commerce, you can do the same thing with dropshipping. You could just like be very confident in this product and start loading hundreds of thousands of dollars into Facebook ads right at the start or right when you get a little traction and you get emotionally involved and you just start to hold on. And then all of a sudden you lost tons of money into Facebook ads with nothing to show for it. That's a key distinguisher between success in both of those fields. For sure, you cannot be emotionally involved in either one, especially with stocks and especially with e-commerce. When you pick a product in dropshipping that is just like something that you really like, it's really attached to your personal preferences and it's exactly a product you would want. And just because you like it, that's a dangerous way to go about dropshipping products because just because you like it, you're going to be way more inclined to keep that ad going, even if you're losing money on it every day. I've seen it countless times. So many people have told me, Scott, I don't know what to do. I've lost $800 on this product, but I know it's a good product. I just need help scaling. No, just move on to the next. Just move on to the next. And so the loss factor in comparison to dropshipping is a major con to stock trading. And then furthermore, one thing that I don't really particularly like about stock trading is I'll just bundle these into one, It's the involvement and the uncertainty and the uncontrollableness, if that's even a word. Not only are you investing in these companies that at the end of the day, you don't really have any control over, and you're just like hoping for the best sort of, or even if you do the deepest analysis, you're still just hoping for the best. But what I've noticed in my own rhythm, again, I'm just getting into stocks. I'm a newbie. I totally admit that. I've been only involved heavily with it for 6 weeks, but in those 6 weeks, I'm waking up super early so I can watch the markets. While I'm watching the markets, I'm constantly searching for news, not necessarily just like news you find online, but like news in the investment forums, watching YouTube videos, just learning all about resistance lines, looking at charts. That's why I've been kind of ghost a little bit on YouTube for the past month and a half. It's because I've been dealing with the move situation, but also I've just been spending so much time just looking at stocks, looking at companies, looking at their analytics. And after all that work, I still haven't put too much money into it because that's a whole nother topic. I still feel like it's going to dip. But what I'm saying is the money that I have put in, I'm constantly checking the app. Like, because there's major swings, especially on put or call options. There can be major swings in a matter of 20 minutes. So I'm constantly, guys, every 5-10 minutes. I know it's a terrible habit, but my option strategy is very short term. So I got to be checking all the time. So mainly the large part of my day is dedicated to doing all this, when at the end of the day, I might not even put $1 into it. So that's a pro for e-commerce, because there's only so much research you can do before you're like, all right, I'm going to try this product. And then, you go and launch it, you test it for a couple days, and then it doesn't work. Now with a company, it's way different. Like, I've been looking at some of these companies for a month and a half now, and I haven't put any money into it. I'm just constantly keeping up to date with what they're doing, all the news, the resistance lines, all the indicators that I'm following. It's incredibly more complex when it comes to stocks. I've always loved the feeling of dropshipping because I could launch my ads and then not even look at it for 2 days, because a lot of times it won't even matter for a couple days anyway. While with stocks, it's like always. So you got to be on the ball. With stocks, you always got to be on that ball when the markets are open. And even outside the markets are open, you got to be on the ball with the stocks that you hold, stocks that you have positions against, anything. While with e-commerce, it's like not necessarily a set it and forget it, but there's bigger time chunks of freedom for you to do with what you will. You can go and start launching other stores. You can do all this while not really paying attention to this one too much. And you can also outsource that so much easier than stock trading. So in all those aspects, that's the issues I see with stock trading. And again, that's as a beginner. I'm getting back into my student shoes. I'm just learning from everyone who's way better than me at stock trading right now. All right, so those are the cons of stock trading in comparison to drop shipping. But now I want to talk about the pros of stocks in comparison to drop shipping. The number one pro of stocks, in my opinion, is the cleanliness of it. It is just so clean, so simple of a transaction, just an overall system in general. And what I mean by that is if you trade stocks or say trade options, I'm just going to lump them into two because I'm tired of saying both of them. When you want out, it's an instant out. So say you buy $10,000 worth of stock in a company and it goes up 20% and you sell at $12,000. You just made $2,000. It's already in your account, just like that. Same with options or whatever. While with drop shipping, it's a little more different and it takes a little bit longer. For when you're putting up the money and the time to build the store and launch the Facebook ads with no guarantee of anything, like you could just lose that money, which you could in options too. But when it comes to actual stock investing, the stock investment side always holds value unless the company goes to zero, of course. So there's that aspect. But even after you get to sell, as with any e-commerce company, as with any company in general, you get the sell and then you have to have your VA, or if you have the auto fulfillment by Zendrop, you could do that. But either way, you get the money and then you got to place the order, and then that order has to be shipped out to the actual person, and then it has to arrive in good condition and also good quality that they deem necessary, or they could issue a chargeback. They could give you a bad review. They could just be trying to scam with faulty chargebacks. There's so many variables and things that could happen. So that's a glaringly obvious pro for stocks. That's such a cool way. And that's why I've been really obsessed with it lately. It's because it's like so simple. I can wake up and make $500-$600 in the first hour of me waking up, and then I can just call it quits and then go about my entire day if I choose to. Now, as I just said, I choose to basically, even if I go up money at the beginning and sell out, I just spend the rest of my day researching stocks. So the complexity of stocks comes with the simplicity of the transaction between the stocks, if that makes sense. While with dropshipping, it's not as complex to learn at all. It's way newer. But I'd say the transactions and everything are just as complex. So it's like a perfect middle ground for really anybody. And that's why I'm such a huge proponent of it, and why I started when I barely had any money, because it's like right here. I only had $300 when I started dropshipping. Dropshipping is pretty simple, but just a little complex to learn. And then the delivery process and the overall logistics of dropshipping is just a little complex, a little difficult to learn. Now with stocks, the analyzing and just the overall learning of the stock market is extremely complex to make good trades. But when it comes to the actual logistics of the trade, it's way simpler. And I think I'm coming to the conclusion while I'm making this video actually that dropshipping to learn, establish, and launch is just as complex as it is to fulfill, which again is like not even that complex at all. It's like just a middle. It's like just something to learn. While with stocks, it's very complex to learn, to understand, and to execute because of all the data and how long it's been around and how many things you got to account for and how you got to think about how it's priced in. That's very difficult to learn. But when it comes to the actual logistics and the transactions of the stocks and the stock options, it's very clean cut. It's very simple. It's just like put in this money, you get this money back. Boom. It's that simple. And I honestly wouldn't say which one of those is a pro or a con. It really depends on your situation. And that's going to lead me into the next pro for dropshipping opposed to stocks. When it comes to the potential to make a lot of money and you don't have too much, dropshipping is the way to go, hands down. Because you got to think. Guys, I started 2.5 years ago, I think close to 3 years ago now, dropshipping, and I only had about $300 to play with. And I took that $300 into hundreds of thousands of dollars. If I would have started learning stocks, I really doubt that I could have taken a $300 investment into the stock market and turned it into hundreds of thousands. That's just not, that is, the chances of that happen, especially as a newbie, is so outrageously high. I can just go ahead and say with very high confidence that if you have $300 or if you only have a little bit of money, dropshipping is the way to go. Now with stocks, if you have a lot of money, you can make a lot of money. And that's my main takeaway from everything that I've been learning for the past 6 weeks between the Forex trading, the stock trading, just seeing the overall collapse of the economy. It's money makes money. But if you want that money to make money, you have to keep the money. Guys, I just put $10,000 into that Forex trading account and I've already made back like $700. Just in the first week and a half by having $10,000 in an algorithmic Forex trading account, just in the first week and a half, I've made more than I was making per month. Not that long ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, I was making about $700-800 a month at my busing job. And now just because I have $10,000 in that account, I'm making money. It's the same with stocks, you know, and any investment, real estate, anything. The more money you have, the more money you're going to make in terms of the profit margin. It only makes sense. Well, again, it's not necessarily the same with dropshipping because you don't need too much money to start dropshipping, and to put more money into dropshipping wouldn't even make sense. You know, it doesn't even make sense. So guys, it's two worlds we're working with here. Generally, people starting in the stock market have a bunch of money to play around with, or they're kind of being done with their money if they're putting in money that they would not be okay with losing. Well, with e-commerce, it's mainly about a couple thousand for people starting dropshipping. And I've seen so many people turn a couple thousand into a couple 100,000 or even a couple million, which is just so much harder to do with the stocks. Now, here is the best strategy. And this is exactly what I'm doing and the overall consensus of probably what you should get from this video. I started in e-commerce dropshipping because I only had a couple $100s to start with and I didn't really know what to do. From that, I've not only scaled the dropshipping businesses, but I've scaled every e-commerce business and everything I'm involved in. I have about 9 or 10 streams of income at this point. I've scaled everything to the point where now I have a large excess of money to put into the stock market at such a volatile time in the hopes that it rises because of how low it is currently. That is exactly why I haven't been too deeply involved with e-commerce dropshipping lately, because I don't want to spread my attention too thin. And I know how important it is when you're learning a new trade to put your full dedication into learning this. And finally, I'm getting to the other side of stocks. I definitely don't know everything there is to know, but I feel like now at this point, I have a good chart analysis basis. I have a good resistance line and indicator basis and rule of thumb. Options, I'm definitely starting to understand way better. So now I'm starting to crest. I can definitely tell that the initial learning phase, the initial surge took me about 4 to 6 weeks. And now I'm finally starting to feel way more comfortable. Yeah, guys, so that's what I'm doing right now. And I hope that this video can really show you the differences between e-commerce and dropshipping in terms of logistical and fulfillment on both sides. There's so many more pros and cons to both sides. I don't want to get too deep into it. I want to cover the main ones that I talked about here. My personal opinion, I think stocks is something you should get involved once you have, say, like $10,000 or more. While dropshipping, if you don't have too much money to start, but you're still looking to start something with the potential of a 100x, 1000x return, I think that type of percentage return with a lower amount is way more likely. Oh my God, I know it's way more likely in dropshipping composed to stocks. Before I go on from that point, let me clear one thing up. That is not to say at all, if you have a ton of money, you shouldn't be dropshipping, you shouldn't be into e-commerce. My mentor, even when he was a multi-millionaire, still was launching dropshipping stores, still was launching e-commerce stores, even though he had millions in his account, millions. This guy was still humble enough to be launching e-commerce. And it's not even a humbleness factor. He just recognizes, and this is the reason he got to the position he is, the diversification of your income is extremely important. You don't want to be all in stocks. You don't want to be all in e-commerce. You don't want to be all in real estate. But ideally, when you do have a ton of money, you don't have to focus on one aspect. You can start to, litigate certain things to certain people. You can start to outsource, do whatever. But when you do have that large sum of money, you want to diversify it into real estate. You want to diversify it into e-commerce. You want to diversify it into stocks or all these sorts of investments. But diversification is the name of the game. So I just want to make that very clear. There are obviously people making millions in e-commerce. What I mean to say, though, is I really don't see many people get into stocks with a couple $100 and make a ton of money. But I do see a lot of people get into e-commerce with a couple $100 and make a lot of money. And with that money they make, it's up to them to make the smart decisions to diversify into different avenues. So I just want to clear that up real quick. So I know I kind of jumped around all throughout this video. I hope not many of you got confused there. I hope a lot of you found this value there. If you guys did find any value, I do ask again, please hit that like button. Let me know what you think about this studio. And lastly, don't forget about that 4x algorithmic trading video. I'm so excited for that video. I can't believe that it's working so well. I never really traded with algorithms before, so this is going to be a really cool, unique video you shall see. So thank you guys so much for watching. Happy trading, happy dropshipping. Best of luck.